Happy Halloween, everyone. Let's see. I have a Halloween background that I'm trying to add, but we'll see. We'll see if it adds. Maybe if I add my other camera. Let me see. Yes, there it is. Look at that. So spooky. I love it. Happy Friday, everyone. It is great to have you all here. Yeah, I love it that Halloween's on a Friday, because it's almost like a 3-day weekend, right? I'm going to do this broadcast and then we're going to go have some fun. Okay, so that's what I've got. I hope that everybody is good. Also, don't forget, on Saturday night, Sunday morning, here in the US, we turn our clocks back, right? So don't forget about that. Let's see. Looking to see, gosh, so many of you are here. This is awesome. I am too, Annie. Those of you who opened your newsletter, and I sincerely hope you opened your newsletter this morning, because there was a treat in there for you, for newsletter subscribers. Make sure that you open it. And there's 2 treats. That treat plus the link to this treat, which is my little pattern for the little Flora skull that I stitched up. I did this last night while we were watching TV, because, God forbid I, actually just watch TV. I have to keep my my hands busy for sure. Donna, it's great to see you. I am wearing, these are earrings that our friend Leslie Rogers sent these to me, and I thought no better time to wear them. Look at how cute they are. I'll put them down here so you can see them here. There we go. Can you see those kitties? Look at how cute they are. There we are. Put that fringe together. I love them. They are Say Something earrings. And I just love them. Leslie, I wear them once in a while when I really want to make a statement. But I thought today was the place. Sharon, you are super sweet. Thank you for that. I love it. Let's see. I'm just looking. Yeah, I did. I actually took a blow dryer to my hair today. So, I hope that Leslie jumps on, and sees her earrings, right? So, yes. So let's take a look, shall we? Let's get to stitching, right? Let's do it. So I thought it would be fun to do something that's kind of special for, for Halloween, for Dia de los Muertos, for, I don't know, spooky season, whatever. Whoops, sorry, I hit my table here. So what I did was I used the, let me see if I can straighten this out. I used the bead tool program that I have, right? And I just drew it. I kind of outlined it and then started filling in. It's kind of like a light bright, right? You just kind of put the pegs in the little spaces, and I came up with this little skull pattern. Oh, Donna Chandler, you are so kind. I hope you're feeling well, my friend. I think of you every day, just about, to wish you well. I actually think of all of you, actually, and that's no lie. I think about, all my friends, especially when I am, trying to create something for a project. But this is linked in the newsletter. I wanted to link it to you folks first, and then I'll put it on the homepage as well. So I made this and I thought, oh, you know what? I'll just stitch it up in the morning. Well, I wanted to make sure that it would actually work. So last night we were, my friend Beth is here staying over for Halloween, and, you know, we're going to give out candy and stuff tonight. And Chris made a delicious dinner. So we were having dinner and watching some music videos, and it was really cozy. So I also stitched this up. So I think it came out pretty cute. It would look great as a pin. You know, I've done some of these small little patches as a pin. It would look great like on your denim jacket or on your lapel. But I think, you know, being inspired by the earrings that Leslie made for me, I'll put the kitty cat earring here. If you kind of put that on top, I mean, it's not, oh, I love it. How actually, if I put it on top of the cat body, I love it. But I could, you know, you could take this even further. You could put fringe across, like, look at how cool just some fringe looks, right? So we could fringe this. You could brick stitch up the top, so it would be like, you know, like a triangular shape. Oh, Janice, Chris cooked. He made the best. He made scalloped potatoes from scratch. This is what we're bringing to my parents tonight. With Gruyere and thyme. Oh God, they were so good. And then he cooked a ham. And then we also had broccoli. It was delicious, and a delightful bottle of wine. So yeah, it was perfect. So my parents get the leftovers today, and tonight, since it's Friday night, it's pizza night here. Chris makes a homemade pizza. So we're going to have that because we'll have probably a lot of trick-or-treaters and stuff too. So that'll be fun. That'll be fun. But it was really delicious. But yeah, isn't that cute? I kind of love it with the kitty cat, you know, with the kitty cat underneath it. Isn't that fun? I kind of love it. But you could, you know, brick stitch up the top. That's the beautiful thing about brick stitch is that you can work from the top, you can work from the bottom. I also just chose some random colors. I thought that the skull looked cute in white, right? But I also think it would be cool in a color. So you decide. I just pulled some colors really at random. I didn't even pull the colors that I had in the skull piece. So what I pulled was, I'll show you what I did, and then we'll get to stitching. I still have some threads and stuff here because you never know when you're going to need some more, you know, thread or whatever. So what I did around the skull, I just used white. And what I did was I used matte white. This is 401F, maybe 402F is what it is, matte white. But you could use like an off-white, you could use a Ceylon, like a pearlized, you could use a color, you could make the skull like a color, you could reverse it, the skull could be black, the background could be white or a different color. I just want you to play around with it. Cindy, oh, hello, my friend. We don't have a kit, but in the newsletter this morning, the pattern was available. It's just a free pattern that I made. I'm going to put it on the home page right after the broadcast as well. Janice, you can put the link. It's in the files. So JP, if you go to the files on the back end, it's right there, and you can pop the link in as well. So no, it's just a little pattern that I made up. You decide. You could do it with Delicas, right? You could make it smaller, do it with 15s. You could make it bigger, do it with size 8s. I use size 11 rounds is what I did. Okay, so so you decide what you want to do. So I did the skull in the 402F. Then I outlined it in silver, and I thought, and you can do an outline or not. I thought the Oh, Cindy, perfect. Add it to your bag. Yes, yes, indeed. And I have Cindy, you made me. I wanted to show this. My friend Cindy made me this really cute little bead, like a little awl, or like a little, I can also use it as like a stiletto. But look at what she made me. I saw this one is, she gave it to me at our Fresno Fiber Arts Guild last weekend or weekend before last. I can't remember. But isn't that just darling? I just love my little Frida awl that's been personalized. I love it. So thank you so much again, my friend. It was awesome. The silver does make it pop. The cat fringe, Cynthia, it's actually not a bead shop pattern. I think that Leslie found it on Etsy, I think. If you look on Etsy, isn't it? It's just darling. I'm sure there's a bunch, and if Leslie pops on, I'll ask her. We'll ask her in a future broadcast. But I bet if you go to Etsy and you search black cat or cat fringe earring or cat with moon fringe earring, I bet you'll find it. This is up here, just two drop brick, and then the fringe is the cat pattern. I would love to give proper credit to the artist. I probably should have looked it up beforehand, but I know it's there. I think that's where Leslie got it. So, but isn't it it's just darling, darling, darling. Maybe I'll make a kitty cat pattern. I thought about a kitty cat pattern in making one, but I did a skull instead. So, let me zoom out just a little bit here. And let me show you. Yeah, all the seed beads, you can I would just choose. But let me show you what I used. I had that orange for the center. This is Duracoat Silverline Persimmon. I had this other, I think it's the orange AB in matte 138 FR for the middle of the flowers. And then I did the flowers in blues. I did them in this galvanized sea foam, and I think this was the turquoise AB 412 FR, right? And then I had the black. This is just the shiny black. That's 401. And then in the green, I probably should have used a green that had a little more contrast, but I didn't mind it, right? This is Silverline Green AB. So I thought that those kind of all went together. I could have made one of the flowers orange. I don't know. It just, you choose, right? What you like. Then this was, I just love that glazed rainbow, and I used the soft blue for around the eyes. I wanted this to kind of have a blue colorway to it. Oh, and Margaret, thank you for asking. Our Beatrice, our baby bee, she is good. She's not actually a baby. She's actually like 12, but she is doing so well. So I'll have to put up some Halloween photos of all 4 black cats now. Though Alfie was wearing his bat wings earlier, I sent Janice the photo here. Let me see if I can put it up. It was Janice. It was Miranda and Alfred were working really hard yesterday. And so I have a cute picture of them. I'll show you that. Here is, there they are. There's Alfie. He's wearing his bat wings. And he was really supervising, micromanaging Miranda, really, if you want to say the truth. So yes, Alfred is wearing his wings. Okay, so let me show you how this goes together. It goes together really, really fast. There aren't that many rows in it. Let me see if I can pull this camera back a little bit. There we go. So if we count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22 rows down and 15 beads across. Okay, so it's fairly small, not too small. Let me, this would also be cute in the middle of like a bracelet or something too. It is about 1.25 inches by about 1.25 inches. That's what it is right there. So what I did, I started with a ladder stitch to begin. And then I thought, you know what? What would Danielle Wicks do? Danielle Wicks would start her piece with a peyote stitch start, right? That's what she would do. Let me push that back a little bit. Here's Leslie. Hi, Leslie. Leslie, I've been wearing the earrings you sent me. Everyone loved them so much. Do you happen to have the link or the resource for it? I want to give the artist credit. They are perfect wear for Halloween. So I just love them. I always have them here by my table. So I'm excited to wear them today. So if you do, drop it in the chat and we'll put it up. So what I did here was, instead of the ladder stitch, I made the ladder stitch and it was kind of a mess. And I'm like, what would Danielle Wicks do? Danielle Wicks would do a peyote stitch start. And so that's what I did. So let me show you. Here's the zoom out here a little bit. Here's the pattern. And what I did was I folded it over 1, 2, 3, 4 rows down like this. And I turned it on its side, because remember that peyote and brick are like cousins, right? So if we start it here with peyote stitch, after we've completed this, we turn it and then we continue the brick stitch down. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do here. So let me get out my beads. I'll show you this. And a lot of you were much better at this than I was. I don't know. I had a show sometime a while back and we were talking about peyote stitch start and it was like a nightmare, but I've really got it down now. Okay. So I'm using Fireline just because I want these to lay kind of stiff. See how nice and stiff that square sits? Oh, great. Thank you. Leslie, let me know and then I'll find it and put the link in. Okay, that'd be great. I'm going to just do like a wingspan of this. And I'll get, the needle I used was a size 10, but you could use a 12. Doesn't really matter. I'm using size 11 right here. And so again, like I said, you could use Delicas. You could drop this down to a 15, right? You could pop it up to an 8 and just choose your colorway. Okay, just choose what you like color-wise. This would be a great one to just use the 11s in your stash, right? And you don't have to follow my colors. Just, decide, assign a bead to each number that's in the pattern. And then you're good to go. Okay, so the peyote stitch start, what I do is I put on the first 4 beads. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm starting from there and going here. So here's the 4. So I'm going to leave a little bit of a tail. Now I'm going to pop up to row 3 and it's just going to be like regular peyote. So I'm going to put on a black, go through a black, put on a black. Okay. So what we're going to do, so we're going to add our black bead. Let me get in a little tighter. You cannot see this at all. And of course, black on black thread, you also can't see, but let me do that. So the mantra for peyote is put on a bead, skip a bead, go through a bead. And we need to do an even row, right? Because this is even count peyote. So here's our first one. Then we put on a bead, we skip a bead, we go through a bead. Okay. So now you can see here how we have these two, this one, these two, and this one is here. All right. So now we're going to work our way back. We're going to put on a bead, skip this bead, and go through that bead. Once we have the little rows connected like this, all right, started the first 3 rows, we just go right up. Okay. So I'm going to do this kind of fast. Danielle showed us this in her Thanos earring. Remember, she had a peyote stitch start with that. So you can go with, you can take a look. So we start, Donna, I'm starting with the 4, right? Because I folded it at 4 rows, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I put on the first 4 beads, which is this one, this one, this one, and this one. And then for my 3rd row, I jumped up and put that on. So now I'm on row number 5. I put on a bead, I skip a bead, I go through a bead. I put on a bead, skip that bead, go through a bead. Okay. So here we've got our next row. Let me get in a little tighter. I should have done this with larger beads, but you get the idea. So now we'll turn, and I know that if I put this way and, whoops, sorry. If I put this way and I start to read my pattern across, okay, the top row is indented. Let me get my pointer. Hang on. If I look at this, I know that my top row goes in, right? So this is my top row right here. My 2nd row goes out, my 3rd row goes in, my bottom row goes out. So my bottom row is where I'm going to start adding color, okay? So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 4 of these down here, and then I'll start this color here, okay? It took me a minute. It took me a minute of like watching Danielle and figuring out, like really watching what she was doing, because this, you know, peyote stitch on the side and then turning to add the brick stitch to the bottom kind of actually made my brain go sideways a little bit, right? Because it's a little bit of a spatial relationship issue. But, and then I literally had to fold it so that the rest of the pattern was back here, so I wasn't looking at it. So all I'm looking at is a peyote strip right here, okay? So the needle that I'm using a 10. And since I'm using a size 11 seed bead, and I'm not doing a lot of weaving in and out and stuff, I think a 10 is good. A 10 feels really sturdy, right? With it. Hillary, 100%. Hillary's question is, well, why not peyote stitch the whole thing? You could, for sure, right? So let me zoom out here. Let me address that. So I could, if you wanted to peyote stitch instead of brick stitch, just turn it to the side and you would peyote stitch this all along here, right? You'd follow the pattern all the way across here, right? I could have made it in peyote instead of brick, but for me, I think the brick stitch actually goes a little bit faster. So I'm going to do the peyote stitch start here. Then I'll turn and continue and finish in the brick. Okay. So let's see, where am I on this? I think this is the last row that I have to do before I start a color. Okay. So yeah, you could definitely, you just turn it on its side to get the peyote. And some people, I mean, I love peyote stitch for sure. It's really great. But I'm also really into brick. Yeah, it's really just a stitch preference, Katney. Right, exactly. And Janice, 100%, mark your calendars. November 12th, that live broadcast, Danielle is doing a brand new product. We are launching new super duos in a new color family. They're called Frozen. The finish is called Frozen. It's going to look so, so good. I'm really excited. So here we are. Let me show you. Right? Oh, the gem duos. What did I say? Janice, did I say something else? Did I say super duos? It's a gem duo project. Okay. And then, yes, Deborah, this is exactly how I feel about that, because I started, remember, if you start with brick, you need to, sorry, my camera is zooming automatically. If you start with brick, you have to do a ladder stitch. Okay. And, oh, I said super duo. Yeah, they're gem duos. Sorry. And the brick, the ladder that I did, I just did that one ladder, and the ladder was super wonky. It just wasn't right. So I'm like, you know what? I need a really hefty start. So I'm going to do the brick. I'm going to do peyote. So now if we look, we can see if I turn this to the side and I turn this to the side, right? And Terry, I would try this peyote stitch start. Just do a little bit of peyote, like a length, right? And then we're going to brick stitch from the bottom. I think it'll really, really help. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I counted this wrong. I put on an extra row, so I actually have to take this out. 1, 2. Oh, no, I didn't. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. We're good. We're good. So now my next row is going to be this G bead, which in my case is the oh, and that's why, because I did this one wrong. It's the blue, and then it's the green. So, okay. So now I'm going to put on my blue right there, put on my black right there, turn it, and now I'm coming back around. So my next one is going to be a black and a blue. And you kind of have to like read it backwards. But once you start to see, like, these flowers aren't really difficult, aren't really difficult to see the pattern. Yes, a starter strip using brick stitch. Right, I did see that when I was kind of looking around to see what people were doing. I did see the Jill Wiseman tutorial. I need to watch it and see how she does that. So see, now I'm putting in the center of my flower, that's C, and now I need the leaf. The pattern is called Bead Tool 4.0. That's what I used. And you can use on Bead Tool, there's a different, you can do peyote stitch, you can do brick stitch. There's a lot of the different patterns that you can use. And then I just filled it in with colors. I wasn't even paying much attention to the beads, the bead colors that I was using. Okay, so see here, we're getting there. Here's the flower. So I am here. I'm going to put that G. So the first flower is done. So let me get that. This one in a black. I'm going to go a little more at Kate speed so I get through this strip. And again, this is 4 rows of the peyote. Okay, so it's 4 rows of the peyote stitch. Now I want to try not to screw up. I think this is all black that I'm doing here, right? I'm on this one because I just did this one. So now I'm doing this. And it takes a little, it really did take me a bit, but the Fanos earring with Danielle really helped me visualize how to do this. It was really helpful. Hi, Robin. Good to have you. Thanks for joining in. Whoops, I don't want to twist my thread. Hang on. I'm glad I caught that before I went any further. Okay, let me just tighten this up. Make sure your tension is good. And let me pull my camera out just a touch here because I'm a little close. Okay. All right, so where am I here? Okay, so I did this one and I did this one. So now I'm at a black and a leaf. Black, not the leaf yet. The black here. And what I do is I try, no, that's not right. Yeah, that's right. I try and orient myself and see what beads are touching what beads. So like here, I know, here's that leaf. So I know that leaf has to touch that flower bead. But it is thinking in 3 dimensions, or at least 2 dimensions, because, you know, you're working at it from this side and then you're flipping and you're working from this side. So you're going across like this, right? Let's do this and this. Okay. All right. So I was here. So now I get 2 black. And really just sit down and play with this technique, right? You could also just make this peyote stitch start in all 1 bead color, right? You could put on 4 rows of the background color up here, right? Then you could turn it and start this, right? Because it's a little easier, I think, to read it this way as brick stitch. So just use some plain rows for your peyote start, right? I know, look at Donna, my beads do not stay in nice little rows. So you are not alone in that. So I need another blue. That's this blue and a black. And then we'll come from the opposite end and blue and black, black and the blue. What's the largest beads would I use for this, Cindy? You could use 8s if you wanted. I mean, why not? Right? I don't think that would be a problem. This one. It would look different for sure, but I still think it would look okay. And turn. And now I have this one. But the 11s aren't too bad. I mean, they're a little small, but they're not bad. And I think a green goes here. Certainly not, they're definitely better than a 15, but I might like to stitch this in a 15 just to see what it looks like. Here's a black one. We're coming on the home stretch here. Thank goodness. And this one. Then I flip. I've got a blue and a black. This would look good with the loom. I think I could, all I have to do is change it up in the bead program for the loom. I'll see if I can do that with this little piece. I'll see how it works. Get in. Yeah, the 10-aught Delicas, JP, it would look great in the 10s. I don't know why I didn't put them in the 10s. Now I'm just going to continue on, and it's all black from here. If you buy, we still have some of that Delica 10-aught mix. Priscilla, you could buy a tube of the Priscilla monthly mix and then another color for the skull and a color for the background, and you'd be good to go. I might have to do that. I do love the 10-aught too. And the 10-aught would be just slightly larger. I might have to stitch it up. And this one. And flip, I think this will be, I just need 2 more rows. This one, sorry, I'm out of, I get out of view there. And then this is the last row, and then we'll look at it, okay? All right. Pull that first one down. Tension is real important. Sorry, I'm out of frame again. Let me put that over there. So this is this way. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15. Okay. So here we are with this, and I just want to make sure this is correct. Oh, you know what? I have an extra, hang on. This is correct. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, even I get confused. So that's an innie, outie, innie, outie. That is, did I make a stitching mistake here? There should be 4. Do I need one more? Let me put this on. I had this issue last night too when I made this, but then I fixed it. So hang on, bear with me here just a second. I think I was short a row. Okay, yes, there we go. I was short a row. I stop before I thought. So let me show you this where I got confused, because I did the same thing last night. And then I'll show the whole chart in frame. But let me show you this here. Let me get a little tighter. What I did was, see this last, and you want to check it so that your peyote stitch start is correct, that the beads that are going in on this side, it's kind of hard to see, but those are the ins, and this one right here are the outs. See, so that top one had to be going out, that middle one had to be going out. So I needed one more row. I was short a row. Okay. So I did that last night too. I'm like, wait, where is it? So you want to, so I know that my thread, and I can mark it on my printout, that my thread, the thread is here. This is where I started. Okay. So this is all lined up. Now, there's the chart. So now we're going to turn it. Okay. So I went from this side. Okay. And there's where my thread started. And I've completed this whole section in peyote. Now I'm going to turn. I match where my thread is, right? My thread is up in the top left corner for me, top left corner. And now I'm going to start with this row with brick stitch. Okay. So what I did, so I didn't confuse myself, was I bent it, you know, I creased it, folded it down, and we're going to start brick stitching here. Okay, to here. All right, so I'm going to move that over. I'm going to try and get close on this, and I'm going to show you how we start that. So remember that this is my top left. This is the top right here, right? So if I look at my chart for brick, I'm actually coming back because this is row 1, that's row 2, that's row 3, that's row 4, this is row 5. Okay, so I do all of the even rows, or the row 1. Row 1 started over here, right? So that's actually 1, that's 2, this is 3, That's 4. And this is row 5 here. Okay. But the way that I ended it, you can do either or. I can walk this thread all the way down so that my odd rows start on this side and my even rows start here. Does that make sense? Or if I know that I have to drop down to row 5 and just brick stitch down, that this now will be row 5, this will be 6, this will be 7, and so on. Okay, so you have to orient yourself. So maybe to make it easier, instead of starting backwards, I will just walk my thread back down. So we're starting on an odd numbered row. Okay, does that make sense? Yeah, it's going to be bedlam here. We have a lot of kids, a lot of trick-or-treaters. We have, this year we're not doing, this is like the first year we haven't done full-size bars. I don't know. It's a sign of the times, right? But I did get flashy rings. Everybody has little light up rings. I bought 100 of them. So hopefully, well, when they give out, they give out. But they're little LED rings, right? So now I'm going back. So here we are, okay? That, I think, makes more sense. So here, if these are all the odd rows, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, etc. Okay. Then this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start here with row 5. Here we are. So I'm going to come in. I want to get really close here. So my first 2 beads in row 5 are black. So I'm going to put on 2 because we always start our brick stitch with 2 beads. And I'm going to go under the first thread bridge. Okay. Get those into place. Get them in. Oh, sorry. Nope. I so lied to you. Not the first thread bridge. It's got to be the second thread bridge because I put on 2 beads. It's the first thread bridge if you want to increase. Sorry about that. There we go. Right here. There we are. And I knew that. I checked myself. Let me show you. Let me go. I go underneath and then I got to go up. This one. And I'll show you how I knew that in just a second. Sorry. So off camera. Sorry about that. My camera keeps automatically zooming in. I'm not sure what the story is. Sorry about that. Okay. I'm going to go up. Then I'm going to go down to kind of reinforce this because this is the first brick. So it looks nice. And then I'll go here. And then let me show you. Okay. All right. So see how row number 5, zooming in. Row number 5 is an innie row, right? It goes in. If I put my first 2 and I went under the first thread bridge, it increased because I put on 2. Okay. But with this, I needed to go through that second one so it didn't hang off the edge, that it sat correctly. I hope that makes sense. I also have a thread that's twisted here. Of course, I'm using black on black. What a pain in the butt. All right, here. I don't know. Something is weird with this thread. So let me just take this out. I don't want it to be twisted. I want this to go. That's right. So now we're starting the brick off of the peyote stitch. And brick stitch, we start with 2, though Danielle was also talking about starting it with just a single and not the 1. So let me stitch it down here. So I'll start it with a single like the next row. Okay, and we'll see if that makes any difference, because the brick stitch wants to sit kind of funny at the very beginning, but you'll fix it. It is. This is the brick. So here we are. Okay, so now I need a third black one. Here. I need some beads out there. A third black one. I go under the next thread bridge and up. And then I know my next one is a leaf. So I actually made the leaves green. I should have done this on camera with white thread, right? But we'll do this. Then I need 2 of the turquoise. Let me get all my beads over here. Now nothing is separated. They're just all in one big pile. And this one goes there. And you can kind of see what's coming up with this pattern from the row above it. Okay, I know that this is the bottom of the flower. Whoops. What is the matter with me today and not getting this brick stitch right? Hang on. There we go. This is right. Oh, I didn't come up the bead before it. Sorry. Yeah, I'll zoom out. That's better. Juggling too much. One eye on the comments, one eye on my project, one eye on the camera. Ugh. Okay, there we go. Under the thread bridge. That's right. I knew something wasn't right. And now up. Okay, there we go. Now I need to put in the next flower color, which is this, the blue. Then a center. You know, Janice and I were talking about a new class about a new stitching class, and she was asking me about how to embroider using the fancy stitches on her sewing machine. a lot of you know we're doing some sewing content here. How many of you use the fancy stitches on your machine to do some embroidery? I would like to do some, I love doing freeform embroidery. It's kind of like freeform quilting, but it's really fun doing some freeform embroidery with your sewing machine. You drop those feed dogs and you just go for it. And it's so fun. Janice sent me an article from the Times. I don't know if you get the Times or read the New York Times, but from the weekend, and I must have missed it when I was reading this weekend. But Sabrina Carpenter, on her Saturday Night Live performance, she wore a really cute little t-shirt that said "Live from New York," right? Because the tagline's "Live from New York" at Saturday night. So there was this young woman who started an embroidery business, and now she's doing all kinds of embroidery, but she did the embroidery, the machine embroidery, on Sabrina Carpenter's little t-shirt. Oh, and Cindy, I know you do. So Cindy Thompson, Cindy's here. Let me put that on here. Cindy gave a talk at our Fiber Guild, which was incredible. She's such a gifted instructor. So if you can see her avatar, her profile picture there, that's her Frida Kahlo quilt. Very famous, been a lot of places, right? But I do love that free motion on a domestic. We'll have to chat, my friend. So fun. Oh, it was from this morning's Times. Maybe it could have been in the Sunday one too. But it was really cute. I love doing free motion embroidery. It's so freeing. But Cindy, my mom was telling me, I'm sorry I had to leave. I was doing the Great Beat Extravaganza when Cindy was giving her talk to our Fiber Guild. And my mom was saying about how amazing that talk was. So now here I'm going to come in and I'm going to do my final one right here, because that's an outie. Oops. So I'm going to go right there. Okay. So there we go. So there we have it right there. Okay. So I'll keep following this pattern. Now I'm going to come back. Should I do one more row? Maybe I'll do one more row, right? Because we read it from here. So, and I'll put this single one on. I'm going to put this single. Let me see if just putting the one on is better. Yeah, maybe the single start is better rather than the two. Right? There it is. It looks like it's a little more in line. See that? Can you see that? Not really. But so instead of starting with the two, I'm just going to start with the one. Is this right? There we go. Let's see how it lines up. So I need I'm going to fold this row down so I don't confuse myself. There we go. So 2 of this color. What color did I make those? That shiny blue. Here's 1. And another one next to it. I've got one over here. Play hide and seek with this. Yeah, I also get the Times digitally. I like reading it in the morning. And do the games, do the spelling bee. Is anyone else a spelling bee fan on the Times? 2 of the green. I love the spelling bee. I'm a terrible speller, but for some reason, I can really do the spelling bee. I can picture the words. It's kind of fun. Okay, there we go. 2 of these, the bottom of that flower. And again, you can start reading your pattern. There's a little blue one. Because the pattern, the row before it will tell you where you are, especially with these little flowers. Right. Oh, I love it. I'm glad I'm not alone in the spelling bee. I love it. I like connections too. I do like connections. I don't know. I like those little games. It kind of, I feel like it keeps me like on my toes, you know? 2B, those are the green. Again, I could have used a green that has a little more contrast. I think that the secret to this pattern, right, is high contrast, right? This is kind of, I mean, you can see the contrast here, but between the blues, meh, you know. Kim Caldwell, I am not a great speller either, but for some reason, I was always pretty good at like word jumbles and like word hide and seek puzzles and stuff. So maybe that's why I can get through it, right? 2 of these E. I really am an atrocious speller. I mean, even thank God for spell check. And I think I've gotten worse because I know that spell check will always will always fix it for me, right? So I have this weird thing where I mix up my letter P's and my letter B's. I don't know why that is. The words aren't similar, but I don't know. There's that. And so now I just finish with the black. 3 of those. 1 here. Be careful not to catch your thread. I'm catching my thread all over the place here. Okay. This one. And this one. That goes up. And then I need one more. Under the thread bridge. I think that's the thread bridge. I don't know. We'll see if it is or not. And up through there. All right, let's take a look. Oh, good, Stem Hilly. And you are, you know, super smart. So good. I'm glad. I'm glad my scientist friends also have that problem. That's great. Okay, so see here, there's that. I'll fold it down to my next row. I'm on row 7. It goes pretty fast, right? Row 7, and you can see here. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see this a little tighter. Thank you, Janice, for putting that up as well. Our pattern templates. we do have pattern templates that Emily created for us a while back. And there's a whole bunch of blank design templates, which are great. You can also like embellish these. So let's say I've got a few more minutes here. I can kind of pull that back. I'll put my pattern aside. And so let's see. I am going to come down here. And I think I want to, oh, I know what I want to do. Hang on, now I got to find them. Hold, please. I need this. I need this. I need this. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. I need, ooh, I've been sitting too long. I needed to stand up. I need that little A dot. Hang on. The Pilos, right? I think is what it's called. Is that it? Yes. The Pilos finding. That's that little topper from the symbol. Oh, Trudy, if you're having trouble with the link, I'll put it on the homepage. Oh, okay. The link to today's seed bead list to work. Getting an error message. Let me, hang on 1 second for me. Let me try this. There's that skull. Hang on. It was working though through the newsletter, right? There's the link. Let me put it in the chat. Oh, Janice got it. Okay. Let's try that. Okay. Here's those little Pilos. Let me get in a little tighter. Again, another find from our friend Danielle. Okay, I am going to get a drop bead here. Let me see. Let me try and figure out. Bear with me here just a second. This idea just came to me, so, I have to troubleshoot it for just a second. Drops, Miyuki drops, right? Miyuki drops. And let me see what we have. How about some yellow? We also have the gold plate, but maybe yellow might look kind of good. I don't know. We also have the smoky amethyst in purple. We also have some of these. I don't have that many. Oh, I don't want to keep getting out of stock. I've got that yellow, and I do have the smoky amethyst. Maybe I want that. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little picot. I'll do a picot with a color, I think. Let me try this. So I'm going to do an 11. Maybe I'll do like a long picot. An 11 in this kind of orangey color, whatever that color is. Then the silver, then the drop, then the yellow. It's persimmon, I think, is what this is. Okay, and then I'm going to come up, I'm going to skip a bead and go up through that next bead. Okay. So now I'm going to come down. This is also how you'd add fringe, right? So I'll get that one, come down through the next bead, get that silver, get the persimmon, get the silver, get the drop. I can't find the hole. Did I list the beads? I don't think I listed the beads. We'll see. Yeah, I think the picot was right? No, and you could do this brick in a shape, right? You could just, do shaped brick stitch, right? Increase, decrease, right? You could definitely do that, right? So now I'm coming out this bead, I'm skipping that bead, and I'm going up through that one. Now I'll go down this next one. And that one, the silver, the drop. I like this yellow a lot. The silver, the persimmon. Skip that one and go up this one. So it's 15 across, so it should be divisible by 3, right? I should have 5 going across, I think. We'll see what happens. I don't know. That one. If you're not sure, also, you can start in the center and work your way out, so you can kind of play around with the placement of the beads. But I need to find a hole. There we go. That's silver. I think a little bit of the metallic in here is good. And yeah, it's divisible by 5. It's all going to work out. So see, here's the last one. And then this, that one, and that, and then it goes up the last one. Okay, look at that. Looks great. So now I am just going to, I'm going to move this thread. I'm going to bring this thread up. Oh, no, not yet. You know what I'm going to do? Let me see. Maybe I'll put, right? Maybe I'll put some flowers there. I could do them in all 4 corners. All right, that looks all right, I think. So let me come in. I will come through my beadwork, stitch it in, just kind of zigzag it back and forth. This is when this size 10 needle is a little stiff. Let me go up through here. We put on this rose. All right. So to stitch these on, what I do is I come in, there's a hole in the bottom of this rose. And these are little aluminum roses. So what I do is, can you see down in the, my thread is caught. Can you see down in the inside of that rose? I'm going to get a seed bead. And I'm going to use that seed bead as the stopper. And I'm just going to poke through the stitching there. And I can leave it open to show that seed bead, right? I'll go like through there. I'm going to stitch it on twice if I can, just for some little insurance. Though, to be honest, this is Fireline. It's going to be pretty sturdy. Go through there. If I can, go through that seed bead one more time. This is just a size 10 beading needle, not a Sharps. See if I can go back down through that hole. I'm having trouble seeing it. Come on. Get in there. This is where a flexible needle, sorry, I have to get it in my field of vision. Sorry, I just couldn't. There we go. Now it's through. And I'll go back through just the back of that. Okay, there we are. I can kind of close up, and you can still kind of see that 11/0 in there. Okay. Now I will just stitch through the peyote stitch, or through the brick stitch rather, zigzagging my way across. Oh, black on black. Whose idea was this? I could also start a new thread, but I'd have to reweave it in anyway. So I'm just going to move my needle over to that side. Come on. I like the stiffness of the Fireline that I'm using, right? You could use KO, but I think that the result will be a little floppier. Thank you, Margaret. That's nice to say. There we go. And then I'll just come up to where I think I need to be for the second rose. Okay. So I'll just kind of come up, and I think the second rose needs to be about right there. Okay. So there she is. All right. Now on the top here, I need to add that little pilos ornament, and it's for is it for an 8/0? I can't remember, but we kind of need to build up. Let me see if I can make that a little clearer. I think I'm going to do just a small little picot across the top here. And then as I get to that one, I'll incorporate it. So I still have, I don't know if this is going to be enough thread for the top, but I'll try it, right? Might as well. Not very much thread. And I can always add thread like Danielle showed us, but let me see if I can stitch a little. So I think if I do the picot, and I think I'll do the picot in just the orange, 1, 2, 3, and over. Yeah. And then I'll go down that bead and up. Maybe I need to go under the thread bridge there, because I went down this bead. If I go back up this bead, it will just pull out. So maybe I'll go, that gives me a little too much space. So I'll go under the thread bridge to start my picot. Let's see what that looks like. It's a little tough to, then maybe I can come up this one. I don't know, it's a little bit of a hack job, but it's not too bad. So I'll go here. So that's 3. 1, 2, 3. I'll go down. There we go. I think I can do like 3 there, and then I can put that pilos in the center maybe. Let me see what that looks like. I'll come up. Yeah, that's okay. 1, those are stuck together. 1, 2, 3. Maybe I'll go up here. Okay, now I've got to get, I go through that next one. Maybe if I do this, I'll go up through that picot, through the 8/0, and maybe down that bead. Let's see what this looks like. I don't know. I'm really making this up. But see how I'm using, yeah, there we go. That I think is okay. So I'm going to go through this one more time. I'm going to just snake my way through that. Down through here. This is a little bit of a hack job, but it's not too bad. If I wasn't doing this live, I might think this out a little bit more, but it's not bad. And then go back down. Okay, there we go. That's all right. Now this, I'm just going to send this through to catch the thread. And I'll go up here and add the rest of my picot. Okay. That's not bad. is. And then I need 2 more. So I've got to make 3. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. And then I have room for 2 more right there. Okay. I'm going to have, I hardly have enough thread, but we'll see what happens. I'm going to go under that thread bridge. Up through that bead. Oof. Not very much thread. I keep wanting to put on that fuse little bit of seed bead, so I put that to the side. That goes there. Let me put this one here. Then I'll come up here. And I might stitch this back, but it looks okay. I know this is definitely thread chicken I'm playing here. 3, 1, 2, and 3 down through this one. And then, oh, this is where I need a shorter needle. I got to weave it back through. There we go. Come on. Come on, get in there. There we go. Don't come unthreaded. All right, there we go. And I want to be able to turn the corner. So I'm going to come up that one. Tiny bit of thread. It's my least favorite thing. Stitching in tiny bits of thread. I just need that one and that one below it if I can. I don't want to break a bead though, so I'm not going to force it. We'll just do that. All right, because I can't take it for one more second. And I'm just going to thread burn that away. Oh, take a breath. I need to take a breath. Okay. There's that. It also looks nice with just one little flower there, right? I could do that flower and then I could come in and I could put another flower up there. Maybe that's too close to the color. Maybe I want something that has a little more contrast. That looks pretty. Maybe I'll do that. So it's not quite as symmetrical. I think that's what I'm going to do. Then, so I'll just bring this up instead. Then what I'll do is I will add an ear wire to that little pilos. I'm just going to send this thread right up the center of these. No one is going to notice it's stitched. This would look good though with fringe on the bottom instead of the little picot, but this is definitely like a papel picado, you know, that you put up for Dia de los Muertos. The little, you know, cut out papers, cut out tissue flags. It has that feeling to it. And see how I'm just running this thread up that line of beads here. This is where a size 10 needle is feeling a little big for me. So I'm going to move over to the center where that is. And then I'll add the rose right there. But you see how I moved the thread. Moving the thread is pretty easy to do. And then the ear wires, I have it right here. I know, I should have done this, Linda, a month ago. I know, but make a head start for next November. I know. I'll pull it out next year too. How's that sound? Let me get my my chain nose. These are my snub chain nose kind of. These will work. Open that up. But some of you still may have these roses in your stash and some drops and some 11-aughts. You can whip this out today, right? Look at how great that looks. Oh, no, for sure. And not taken that way at all. No, 100%. I'm like, same. Let me take this needle out. I'm going to put it in my ear. It'll have this. I know, I kind of like it too. You could use, like, you could do just the head, right? And put the fringe down. My mom was saying, yeah, when I had my bead store, when I had Bellissimo in the Mission in San Francisco, Dia de los Muertos was a real great holiday. We would decorate, we'd have Presida Eyes, the mural project. They would come and do our windows. It would look so amazing. And then there'd be the big procession. There's one tonight or tomorrow night in Fresno that we may go to, but I also do an ofrenda to have my altar and stuff. Gran on All Souls Day, she would put a candle right in the window. Did your Gran do that? It's because we're Italian Catholics, you know. She'd put candles in the window to guide the souls back. So I always do that too. It does look pretty good if I do say so myself. And I started this project last night at like 7. So not too bad. Not too bad. But it's kind of fun in this square shape, I think. Not everything needs a ton of fringe, but she's pretty. Que linda, right? I think she's good. Okay. Well, that's it. Now, I'll tell you, if you didn't look at your newsletter, because you had to stick with me to the end here, if you didn't check your newsletter, I'll tell you, there was an amazing discount code for newsletter subscribers, but I'm only going to say it once. It's Spooky 31, right? Spooky 31, spelled out. You put that coupon code in today only, Halloween. You're saving 31%. Janice and I only do this sale like once a year on Halloween, and not always. Spooky 31, if you're watching, right? Or open up your newsletter. You can also get the download for this. And Kristen, I used 11-aught Rocals rounds, but Delicas, it would look amazing in Delicas as well. We were also talking about doing size 10 Delicas. So I'm going to need to do the other one. I know I have to do another one over here. So I'll finish this one so I can wear it. So I can wear it tonight for trick-or-treating. So that's my story, my friends. I'm sticking to it. Thank you. Today went a little long, but we were kind of having fun with it. All right. I'll see you next week. Have a great weekend. Tomorrow, our monthly mix drops. I think you're going to love the story behind it too. I hope you do. Miranda and I did this one together. It was really fun. So yeah, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Happy Halloween. Happy Dia de los Muertos. May we think about our ancestors and think about them and what they've given us, because we wouldn't be here without those. And thank you, JP, for writing that up. Spooky 31 today only. And appreciate you, my friends, as always. Without all of you beauties out there, we beauties here wouldn't be able to do what we love doing, which is spreading creativity through the beads. Thank you so, so much. I can't wait to see what you stitch. And I'll go ahead and I'll add this pattern also on the homepage so you folks can all find it. All right, my friends. See you next week. Thanks all.